Okay, hey you guys. In this video, is going to be about ancestors and knowing when your ancestors are talking to you. So for those of you who may or may not know, I'm a very spiritual person. There are spiritual components to my business, as you all know. I read oracle cards and give spiritual guidance to people very often. I will put in the description box how you can book a reading with me. I only do email readings because it's being on the phone. It can be so draining. People ask some of the most stupid questions just because they're on the phone. And well, tell me, it's annoying. So I do email readings. I mean, of course, if you have a question, you can always respond to the email, and I respond to it. Answer the question. But I do feel like it's a huge energy drain. And if you're an empath or a psychic or an intuitive person, or especially if you're an introvert, it's being on the phone can be so draining. Oh my god, it can be so just takes so much energy out of you. So I only do email readings. Um, Even doing in-person readings are less draining than being on the phone. Maybe it's something about that magnetic, electronic, I don't know, the radiation. I don't know what the hell it is, but I just cannot stand it. So, yeah. So as far as ancestor reverence is common in a lot of religions, especially Asian religions and African spiritual religions, and even sometimes in Catholicism. Um, People will honor their ancestors, and what I mean by that is they will have a space where they will even have a picture or some items of their ancestors, and they'll put water, plants, incense there, and they'll go to that space when they want to pray, meditate. Um, and then some people don't even do that, but they just will pray to their ancestors, talk to their ancestors. And your ancestors are people who are in your bloodline who have passed away. Um, who you honor and you respect and you revere them. So it's called ancestor reverence. Some people feel like this is devil worship and it's evil, but um, I mean, people pray to dead people all the time, like the people who aren't here anymore all the time. For instance, Jesus. People pray to him and keep his spirit alive, and he's no longer on this plane. Or I don't even know if he ever was. If you do some research, there's plenty of debates about whether that deity ever existed. Because Zeus and Thoth and Heru and a whole bunch of other deities have this exact same story as Jesus. So, some people don't really, some people, will have an issue with honoring your ancestors, but they'll honor somebody that they never have met. So, if you have an issue with, you feel like it's devil worship, you're free to click off my video or whatever. Um, you know, this is for those who are trying to reach a higher level of consciousness and are interested in African spirituality or want to be able to connect with their ancestors. So if you want to know how to build an altar, how to build an altar or begin African spiritual practices, you're free to contact me. My email will be below. Or you can take my African spirituality one-on-one course that I have on my website, which is chosenwomb.com, which will also be in the description box. Um, um, yeah, so it's just very very introductory because this path is really just it's it's your it's personal to you. I can't tell you what to do with your spiritual practice. I can't tell you, but I can tell you about African spirituality. I can tell you how it works. I can tell you how these practices, you know, Christianity has actually taken the practices from indigenous Africans and used them for their own good. I can explain all of that to you in a class. So you're free to take my class if you would like. Right now it's in the down. Well, I'll email it to you. It's in PowerPoint format, but I do plan on teaching it live or teaching it like in an online seminar. Um, and I will be very picky about who I accept as students. But you're free to contact me whenever I have that class. I will more than likely post a video about it and let everyone know about that. Um, So I began honoring my ancestors about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and a lot of the ancestors one of the main ancestors that I really revere is my great grandmother because she assisted with raising me, and I just love her. Like I just love her, and she was always good guidance for me. And so I'm gonna tell you about my experience. So a sister by the name of Mama Omi, I got a reading from her last year, and no, earlier this year, she told me that if you're planning on going on a trip this year, you need to go on those trips. They're very important. You need to go on those trips, right? And I had planned on going to Puerto Rico for a wedding for my friend Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine. And I was planning on going on a cruise with my friend Charmaine. Hey, Charmaine. Um, to go on a cruise with her for her birthday. So I was going to a wedding in Puerto Rico, and then I was going on a cruise with my friend. It's really hot, sorry. I was going on a cruise with Charmaine, and the two trips actually ended up being back to back. So I was gone out of the continental United States for 9 days, which was obviously very rejuvenating for me. Just beautiful. And I mean, it changed my life. And she told me it would change my life. Mama only told me it would change my life, and it did. And what happened was I ended up connecting with my ancestors on a real level. And so I'm going to tell you how you know it's your ancestors speaking to you, because this is how I learned my ancestors speaking to me. Um, so I went on these trips, and I will say that the cruise is where I really connected with my ancestors. The wedding was beautiful. The wedding was nice, and it was great being there. Being in Puerto Rico was beautiful. So then after Puerto Rico, I flew to Miami, and we hung out that night in Miami. And then that next morning, we boarded our cruise ship. And the trip was just crazy. I ended up losing my makeup bag. I ended up freezing my debit card. So all of the things that were important to me, me having all my money and me having my makeup and all my jewelry, those things were taken away from me. And since I've been on this spiritual path, I learned when stuff like that happens, it happens for a reason. And so I was upset about it, but I didn't get too mad. I just kind of was like, you know what? Um, I wasn't meant to have those things right now. So we went on this trip, and on the first part of the trip, we ended up going to we went to Jamaica. The first stop was Jamaica. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so lazy right now. The first stop was Jamaica, and we had purchased a horseback riding excursion. So we actually did some horseback riding on the beach in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and it was simply beautiful. And my great grandmother taught me how to ride horses. She actually bought me once I had my own horse. I was a little girl, and her and my great grandfather used to take me riding on my horse. And so that was, a memory of me. I mean, of her. That was a memory that I've always had of her. And when I got on the horse, um, the guy who assisted me, because there were gentlemen there that assisted us with getting on the horses. And so when I got on the horse, um, the guy had this really interesting look on his face. He was just like, "Have you ever ridden a horse before?" And I was like, "Yeah, I used to have a horse. I had a horse of my own." And he was like, "Oh, really?" He was like, "Well, this is gonna bring back some really, how did he say it? He was like, it's gonna bring back some really good memories for you." And he just looked really deep in my eyes, but the way he looked at me was just very interesting. And I just felt my great grandmother's energy, and I was overwhelmed with emotion. I was overwhelmed, and I tried to kind of keep my tears down a little bit. But we actually had to go through like this jungle brush to get to the beach, the actual beach. We were like on like the inside part of the island. We had to go through that part to get to the beach, the actual beach, and we were able to ride the horses in the water. It was like so pretty, y'all. But when we went through that jungle or that brush, I'm not even sure what the correct term for that part of nature is. I really felt my grandmother's presence. And if you know anything about nature and Mother Nature and how we bury people and how they return to the earth, um, you will know that, um, nature has so much, healing, and so much, so much power in nature. They tell people to hug a tree. That really works if you're like tripping, or just standing on bare ground with your bare feet can just really balance you. And so me being in nature it is very soothing for me. Also, me being near water is very, very soothing for me. I always have some kind of emotional and spiritual awakening near water because, um, I'm all water signs. If you look at my chart, I'm Scorpio with Scorpio rising with a moon in Cancer. I'm very emotional. I'm very intuitive, and water is very. It's just something that is very healing for me. Water is very healing for me. Like when I went into labor with my son, I sat in the tub. Like that's just my stuff. Water is just that's something that is very healing for me. And so just being near the ocean, y'all, I just started crying. I started crying. It was so beautiful, and I just felt my great grandmother's presence. And I'm trying not to cry now. I heard her tell me that she loved me, and it just made me so emotional. So I started crying. And there were there were about 3 or 4 other girls on the trip with me, and some of them laughed at me, and I really didn't even care because, they don't know my experience with my grandmother, and they don't know my connection with nature or anything like that. So, yeah, so I was just like, wow, I really felt my granny's presence, and I was just like, thank you, thank you, thank you, granny, thank you. I'm so happy that you spoke through mama on me and told me to come out here. Like, I'm just feeling my emotion right now. It was just so powerful, y'all. So then the next excursion or the next stop on our cruise was to the Grand Cayman Islands. And we went to the Grand Cayman. We kind of lounged on the beach. We had like a little cabana. It was really, really nice. And we had a really good time or whatever. And it was good. But then as we left, we saw there was a man chopping coconuts or whatever. And he was giving the coconut water. And so I got some of the coconut water. It was really, really good, y'all. Let me tell y'all. The stuff that we buy in the store, it's nasty. Okay. And I've always thought the coconut water was nasty. But it's so good when it's fresh like that. And I'm sure it was organic because we were such a natural state. He was just chopping it himself and everything. So it was really, really good. And it really did some cleansing in my body. I'm gonna let y'all take that how y'all want to take that. But it was amazing, okay? Um, but he also gave us sugar cane. And a lot of people, like I know some of the other ladies that we were with, they had never had sugar cane before. I'd had sugar cane before. And guess who had given me sugar cane? We used to grow sugar cane. My great grandmother. And for me, it was kind of like confirmation, like, I'm here with you. Like, I'm always here with you. Um, and so those were signs for me that my great grandmother was here with me. She was very much an earthly dancer type woman. If you don't know what that is, that's a voodoo deity. My grandmother used to stab people and shoot people. She was real gangster. And she's part of why I'm so feisty. And just her energy was definitely there. She told me that she's here with me and she'll always protect me. Ursula Dantor is a fierce protector. And I know that was the energy that my grandmother had, my great grandmother had. And yeah, so sometimes, I also have a deceased stepfather. I know he's not blood, but he did raise me. And sometimes I'll have dreams about him and he'll tell me stuff. And sometimes he cracks jokes in my dreams or whatever. And he was a funny guy. He was a Libra, so he was kind of funny. And he would make me laugh and stuff. And so when I have dreams about him and he makes me laugh, I know that he's looking out for me too, but I know that he's here with me. And my stepfather died when he was 44 years old, and then my at the time my brother was playing football. My brother's number was 44, so that was another sign for me. So I said all of that to say, and you guys know I'm long-winded and spacey. I appreciate you guys for bearing with me. But that's one way. Those are some ways you can know that your ancestors are connected with you. They're trying to get your attention, or they're trying to um, just comfort you and let you know that they're here with you and that you're at the right place at the right time. It can be numbers that are significant to them. It can be colors. It can be things that you used to do with them. popping up, like in my situation. Um, you know, it can sometimes you can dream about them. Sometimes you can actually hear their voice. Um, or you just find something of theirs that maybe you couldn't find for a while that will bring back memories. And so those are ways that the ancestors can speak to you, and amongst other things, like I said, dreams, symbols, um, people coming to you. Sometimes you meet people with their same name. So yeah, there's a lot of ways they could connect with you, but that is my testimony. That has been my experience. Sometimes I do see the number 44 a lot, um, or like with my granny, the horseback riding, the food that we would eat. Um, and then so if you want to connect with them, your sacred space that you have, whether you have their picture on there or not, 'cause I don't have a picture of everybody on my sacred space. But you can just hang out with them. Like I said, nature is a good place to hang out with the ancestors because they're buried, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. They're in the earth, and you can just kind of sit and just have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea with them, tell them about your day, talk to them, even when you're having a bad day, even when you're stressed, even when you want to just cry, you can just go to them and you can do that. And that's just something that is my spiritual practice, and that is what's worked for me. I've done my testimony about me leaving organized religion and how, I used to pray all the time and my prayers didn't get answered. I used to cry, fall out, shout, all of that stuff, and nothing really was happening for me. When I started to revere and honor my ancestors and talk to them and feed them, stuff started happening like that. I started getting realizations. I learned how to truly love myself. Um, I really woke up. When I say wake up, I don't mean like, oh, I just learned a whole bunch of stuff from books. Like my spirit, my soul woke up. Like I don't even feel like the same person that I was 3 years ago. Like that girl is like that person. She was on such a low vibration. Like I never want to go back there. But yeah, so um, that's pretty much my testimony about ancestor reverence and me waking up and becoming in contact with my ancestors and how my ancestors have spoken to me. And you know, it's just been wonderful. So that's just my testimony about my granny that I love so much and my stepdad that I miss so much and I love so much and how they've connected with me. And so I hope that this, for those of you who y'all's ancestors have been speaking to y'all, trying to get y'all's attention, you need to pay attention because they'll give you messages, they'll protect you from stuff, they'll help awaken your intuition on a deeper level. And I know people who practice ancestor reverence and they're Christian. I know people who practice this and they're Catholic or whatever. It's not. It doesn't have. You don't have to be practice African spirituality to practice ancestor reverence. Okay. That's just something that That's just a spiritual practice that you can take up, and I do recommend that. Because once you connect with them, they will look out for you. They are there for you. So I hope that helped someone, and I hope that some of you take my class, and I can assist you all on your spiritual journey. So I hope that you guys have a great Saturday. Tomorrow is the Aries supermoon eclipse. So there's gonna be a lot of changes going on right now. So I hope that and it's just turned fall. So I hope that you all are going through positive transitions and that you all can just move forward this equinox season and really, embrace this. And Halloween, that's what they call it. The Day of the Dead is a great time to connect with your ancestors. Yeah, so I hope that that helped someone, and I hope that you all can connect with your ancestors and reap the benefits of that. So I'm gonna finish my drink and enjoy my Saturday. Thanks. Bye.